Welcome to Dory Cote on Shamanism, a weekly podcast that explores one theme in shamanism throughout each month. Get comfortable, have a seat, and let's get started.
Hello, this is session 3 of a 4-session series on power animals. And this particular recording today is how power animals work as healers in our lives.
Dory, what are some of the ways that a power animal can help to heal a person?
There are an innumerable number of ways that a power animal can help to heal a person. Some of those are commonly ways that relate to chronic illness, things such as fibromyalgia, diabetes, chronic pain, depression, difficulty sleeping, a sense of dysphoria, whatever, is keeping a person from feeling truly alive and in their joy and fully capable of being a fully functioning human here in this lifetime. So, commonly we would do a power animal retrieval for any client or person who seeks help in the healing realm if they are suffering from any form of disorder or dis-ease, including, life-threatening illnesses, because often a power animal retrieval will give the person the power and the hope and the sense that they are not alone, and the power that comes through them, through this power animal, can provide the capacity for this person to move beyond their own limiting thoughts about their longevity or the ways in which they can continue to live their life despite this life-threatening illness.
A listener asked, I've heard of someone doing a power animal retrieval for a person who is dying. Is that correct? Why would a shaman want to do that?
Yes, it actually is common for a shamanic practitioner to do a power animal retrieval for a person who is dying. Here's why. A power animal retrieval actually provides, again, power, right? And so a person who is dying often might be struggling with their having adequate power to blast off, to actually allow their spirit to take flight and leave this earth plane. So a power animal retrieval will give them a certain amount of power and may very well help enhance their capacity to leave, and as a result, eliminate any ongoing suffering. Needless to say, a shamanic practitioner must approach this with a certain amount of caution and help the person who is dying, if they are conscious, to understand that this power animal retrieval may escalate the dying process. And if the person is not conscious, then the practitioner should be consulting with the family or other people who are caring for this dying person, that the power animal retrieval may enhance the dying process or speed it up, so that everybody is not surprised by the possibility of the result of the power animal retrieval. Sometimes, for a dying person, the power animal retrieval might actually help heal them for a while and give them the opportunity to, for instance, say goodbye to that relative who has not arrived yet. So there is no distinct answer to this question, where a power animal retrieval will always give the person the power to blast off, or always give the person the power to access some healing or a cure to what is happening that is pushing them to the door of death. Which is why, again, a practitioner needs to really be in ethical alignment with the dying person, and also with their caregivers, if there are caregivers involved.
Can a power animal help a person who is critically ill and in the hospital?
Yes, absolutely. A power animal retrieval can be performed when somebody is in the hospital or home critically ill. And whether you are able to visit the person in person or not is not a very important factor, because a skilled shamanic practitioner can perform a power animal retrieval from a distance. So there is no requirement that you be in the presence of that critically ill person who is in a hospital in another state. The way the power animal retrieval will help this critically ill person is by enabling, again, the return of some power. So if a person is really struggling with a high fever, or is having difficulty breathing, or has been in a devastating automobile accident and has a lot of broken bones, the power animal retrieval brings that person power and enables the healing process to be enhanced, sometimes sped up, sometimes broadened out, bring an element of greater consciousness to the person, enable them to have a voice in how they're being cared for, or any of a multiple number of possibilities. I always encourage the shamanic practitioners who I train to do power animal retrievals for any relative, friend, or neighbor, anybody they know, again, from whom they have permission to do this power animal retrieval for this person who is hospitalized or at home critically ill, whether from an illness, an accident, or a very serious debilitating disease.
If a power animal is retrieved for someone with a critical illness and the person recovers, does the power animal leave? And do you know when they leave?
That's a great question. A power animal often comes to help with a person for some period of time, and that's an unknown period of time. It may be around that person for a few days, a few months, a few years, or for the rest of their lives. There is truly no way of knowing by any concrete means, how long that power animal will be around. But I do know this: if the person is caring and connecting with that power animal, the likelihood of it being around them for a longer period of time is clearly increased.
Another listener asked, what if the shamanic practitioner I know is in Seattle, but my cousin who is very ill is in St. Louis? Can the practitioner do a power animal retrieval from a distance? Would it even help if it were from so far away?
Yes, I'm glad the listener asked that question. As I touched on briefly in a prior answer, yes, power animal retrievals are equally powerful if performed from a distance. And so it really does not matter where on the planet the client is located in relationship to where the practitioner is. It can be in another country, it could be in another continent, because we're doing this work outside of space and time. So the spirit of the animal is not concrete. It is a spirit and is capable of being present by the side of whoever is in need of the power animal retrieval without the practitioner being in anywhere nearby. What is important, as I touched on before, is that the practitioner has permission, and secondly, that the practitioner knows where the client is located. So, for instance, it would not be enough to know that the client is in St. Louis, Missouri. You would want to know where in St. Louis, Missouri. Is that client in their home? If so, what is the home address? Is that person in the hospital? If so, what is the name of the hospital? What is the location of the hospital? And even more specifically, what room in the hospital? So that you, as a practitioner, can be really clear in your intention with your own helping spirit about where you are going with your helping spirit to deliver this power animal to the client. As long as you know those things, a power animal retrieval from a distance is equally effective as one that is performed face to face.
Can a power animal help elderly people who are alone and frightened? If so, how?
Absolutely yes. Elderly people are often lonely, particularly if they're by themselves, and as a result also frightened by being alone or being alone together. There's no reason why, a couple, an elderly couple together wouldn't be frightened or somewhat lonely because their children live far away or whatever reasons. A power animal retrieval, again, would help each of those elderly people to feel that there is a connection and that they, again, have power, that they are not in a place of complete powerlessness, that they can own their voice, that they can speak for themselves. There's no way of knowing exactly what the power would be that would come to them. But I assure you that any elderly person who is willing to receive a power animal retrieval would be helped in a vast number of ways that are unpredictable, but with no doubt in my mind, helpful.
This completes the questions on power animals as healers. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
I would like to say in closing that power animal retrievals for healing purposes are often very underrated by the shamanic practitioners of the world. And it is important as practitioners for us to go back and remind ourselves that this single most simple ceremony is often the most meaningful and the most powerful thing that you can do in helping to heal a client, whether they are elderly, young, or of any age.
Thank you for listening to Dory Cote on Shamanism. We'd love to hear your thoughts, stories, reactions, and questions. Come on over to dorycote.com and join the conversation. And tune in next week for more on this subject, or next month for a new subject. You can subscribe to this podcast in iTunes or sign up on dorycote.com to receive notices when the podcasts are posted. That's Dory, D-O-R-Y, and Cote, C-O-T-E.com. Drumming and rattling by Dory Cote and Terry Morgan. Technical assistance and audio production by JillHackett.com. And this is Susan Savelle, wishing you many blessings in your life. We hope to have you join us next time.